Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about an easy blueprint just to get you started on a ketogenic diet. And so stick with me, I got a couple of tips and tricks. It's not gonna take us very long, and this will just help you on your way to making you a keto guru. All right, stick around guys, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Messy Keto Kitchen. My name is Steffi, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do lots of content every single week for you guys, sometimes twice a week. So all you gotta do is smash that subscribe button below. We'd love to have you as part of our community. I answer your questions. I'm very, very engaged. And plus, you get to learn some fun stuff and just we get to know each other, okay? So today we're going to be talking about a very basic blueprint if you were to start keto today. And I decided to do this video. I've had different versions of this video, I would say, over the last 6 months or so. But it's a question I get asked very often. And people want to know, if I was just to start today, what's the best way to go about it? Well, here's the interesting thing. A ketogenic diet is actually pretty simple. There's not a lot of steps to follow, which is awesome. But because it's so simple, we trick our brain into thinking that there's a lot more detail that we need to be looking at, and we overcomplicate it. So with that, my first rule of starting a ketogenic diet is keep it simple, stupid. Okay, you guys aren't stupid, but that's just the acronym. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink it. There are really very basic guidelines. I'm gonna lay them out for you real quick here, but don't fall into the hype of people telling you that you need to take supplements or ketone enhancing whatever. Like, that's not true at all. This is a very natural approach. You do not need to go out and buy any crazy product. This is all food based. As time goes on, if you want to supplement and stuff, by all means, there's just no need for it. You absolutely don't need to, so don't waste your money, especially early on. Go cold turkey. Do not try to wean yourself off of the high carb diet and slowly start going to a high fat diet, because the two together, a high fat diet while you're still ingesting quite a bit of carbs, is going to have the exact opposite effect of what you're hoping, and you will actually gain more weight. In one of my videos, I do talk about how carbs and fat work in your body, and basically they're just two fuel sources. So if you have higher carbs, you need to keep lower fat. And if you have higher fat, you need to keep lower carbs. Having both of them be high is just like putting two different fuel sources into your car and letting it spill over, okay? So think about that. So don't try to ease your way into it. You're going to have to just go, okay, cut the carbs out and go ahead and get higher amounts of fat. Now, high amounts of fat are very tricky to get, especially early on. You're not used to eating this way. We've been trained our whole lives not to eat high fat, that it's the devil. And so you're really going to have to think outside the box a little bit. My best recommendations, super fatty cuts of meat. So ribeyes, which can be expensive, and I get that, guys. So that doesn't have to be your number one. We're not all ballers. We have a budget here. But ground beef, like a 70% ground beef, is probably one of the best things you can do. It's inexpensive, it's very filling, and you know exactly how much fat you're going to get into it. So that's a great staple, especially early on. Lots of ground beef, lots of good, like I said, fatty cuts of meat. Adding a lot of fat to stuff is gonna be awesome as well. So butters, coconut oil, avocado oil. That's the basics. So doing that, but also adding in some fat bombs, which there's literally tens of thousands of different recipes for fat bombs on the internet, pardon me. But go ahead and look up those, get yourself some, and just worry about getting enough fat. Do not worry about tracking your macros early on. Like, do it for 2 weeks. Don't track your macros. Eat until you're full. Eat until you're satisfied, and that way you will not be craving the carbs. You'll get adapted much faster, and life will be good. So get your fat. The next thing is electrolytes and plenty of water. You will notice, probably most people do, especially as you're making the adaptation, you will get very dry mouth. And you're gonna want to drink more water anyway, just because of having the dry mouth, but it also is going to help flush your system of toxins, as well as those lingering glycogen stores are just being depleted. So you make sure you're flushing it all out of your system. And then good electrolytes, because the water is flushing all of the glycogen out of your system as well, you are going to possibly go through the keto flu. And you can alleviate a lot of the symptoms of the keto flu with good electrolytes. So I recommend Zip Fizz. That's my favorite one. It tastes very good. You can get it on Amazon. I get mine at Costco, but there's tons of other electrolyte supplements out there. Worst case scenario, you don't have, you don't want to buy the electrolytes. Use your pink Himalayan salt. Get a good magnesium supplement. That'll also help you. That way you're not going to go through as much of the misery as some people who don't supplement with electrolytes. Usually when you do go through the keto flu, it's different for everybody. Some people experience like the full-on flu symptoms, like where it feels like you actually have the stomach flu or something. I didn't go through that. All I got was really bad headaches for about a day, day and a half, and then I was fine. But you can offset that again by having good electrolyte supplementation, maybe some good bone broth to sip on because it's high in sodium, which is great. And that's another thing. Make sure your sodium is high, which we've been told all of our lives to keep our sodium low, but keep your sodium high so that will replenish you too. And then the very no duh thing, but I have to say it, you got to cut out the carbs. So no rice, no pasta, no starchy vegetables, no crackers, no chips, none of that stuff. So pizza is off the menu for now. Don't worry, there is an awesome version of keto pizza called Fathead Pizza. There's also cauliflower pizza, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're keeping it as simple as possible. We're just sticking to the bare minimum here. So just avoid those carbohydrates altogether. Anyway, that's pretty much the basics. Again, you're going to see this all over the internet. This isn't brand new information. This isn't something that I just came up with and I'm the only person who knows. This is very, very common knowledge. But I just wanted to kind of throw it out to you guys. Maybe you all know this. Maybe you can share this with a friend who's asking questions about a ketogenic diet. But if nothing else, all I can say, keep it simple and keep your fats high and your carbs low. If you do that, you will be very successful. Those first couple weeks, you're going to see some huge results, which is going to motivate you that much more. And don't forget, go cold turkey. There will never be a time in your life where you don't have an event to go to, work's busy, the kids are crazy, any of that stuff. So trying to wait until everything in your life calms down to where you can start something and actually get into it all the way isn't going to do you any good. Start while your motivation is high and just go with it. You're going to have pitfalls, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to screw up. Get that out of the way now. Just know it in your head and be okay with it, guys. Anyway, I hope that this video is helpful for you. As always, leave your comments below. Please feel free to share this on any of your social media sites. I'm more than willing and excited to answer any other questions that you guys have. And in that, I will leave you until the next video.